Check, 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 1, 2. Good morning, I'm Stevy the Ndjala from Gemini Multimedia Ltd. Let's talk about my masterclass. My masterclass is $500. For those who live in the CFA zone, it is 300,000 CFA. It is made up of 10 sessions of 2 hours each, or 20 sessions for 1 hour each. The timetable is completely flexible. We learn whenever you're free and when I'm free. Now, like I always say, make money with your voice. If you have a voice, you can potentially make money with that voice. Companies pay you to read. The problem is, not everyone can be a voice talent. You can have the most beautiful voice, but if you don't know how to convey a message, if you don't know how to communicate, how to narrate, how to have the feels that the client wants, it will be very difficult for you to get into that business. I've received tons and tons of Africans who are willing to become voice talents. Some of them have beautiful voices, but the problem is they don't know how to work the voice in order to monetize it. That is why you need the masterclass. The masterclass is a set of principles based on my experience on how you can read in a way to please people, how you can read in a way to communicate a message, how you can read in a way to entertain or to push people to take or to make decisions about a product or a service. That is voiceover. There's definitely a need for you to be someone else. You might be naturally nervous, but when you are in front of your script, you need to adapt. You need to remove your nervosity. You need to remove your inner behavior, and you try to become somebody else. Who is not qualified to become a voice talent? Definitely people who are deaf or mute, because you can't speak. You don't have a voice to speak. That's absolutely normal. And sometimes it can also happen to people who are naturally stammerers. So people who stammer a lot, they have difficulties in reading flawlessly because they have a lot of repetitions and it can't work like that. You should be eloquent. You should be able to read without any mistakes. If you make mistakes, then it shouldn't be repetitive, like I always say. And then there are also people who, because of an accident or because of an ailment or a health-related situation like stroke, they may have challenges in the motricity of their mouth, because the mouth is a muscle, and when the muscle is affected by an accident or, I don't know, a disease, it is very difficult for you to articulate. However, I have read and narrated a project related to the Parkinson disease. And you know, the Parkinson disease is a disease that paralyzes, just like stroke, and you probably may lose your voice. But I was able to read as if I was suffering from the disease. So actually, some people have challenges in reading or in, conveying a message or in expressing themselves in the voice because of an accident. But actually, they can be potential voice actors for maybe a medication or a health-related documentary, and they want people who can give testimonials. Voiceover is also for all ages. I've recorded tons of children from 6 years to teenagers, because we have a lot of adverts that are geared to children, infants, even babies. Sometimes we have cartoons, so children can do voiceovers as well. Now, in my masterclass, when you take part, it is not a guarantee that you become a professional voice talent if you don't put yourself into work. You definitely need to put your spirit, you need to focus, you need to follow my advice, and then you can be a better voice talent or a voice actor. So if you don't put any effort, there's no way you can become a good talent. There are certain things that you definitely need to change. The way you used to speak, the way you used to read, the way you speak is pleasant, or the way you read is so elegant or eloquent, you'll find out sometimes it is not even what the client wants. And then also to people who want to sound like, because you are black, you're African, you want to sound like a British or you want to sound like an American. There's a difference between a natural accent and a fake accent. And people will definitely tell you, my brother, just leave it. Just use your natural accent or just use your language. I am lucky I'm able to speak English well, proficiently, somehow. Yeah, because I've done voiceovers in English, no problem. But my native language is French. And my French, I speak it with my own accent. I'm Gabonese. I speak with the French Francophone accent. Yes, African accent. Sometimes I try European. Sometimes it does work. I've done a lot of projects for Volkswagen, for example. I've done a lot of projects for WHO, which was destined to European market, French European markets. I've done a lot of English projects for non-African targets. I'm able to do that. Yeah, I can twist my voice a little bit and sound more European, but I'm African. And this is the particular side of voiceovers. Your accent pays. People want your accent. Now, during my masterclass, you are not guaranteed for your equipment. Your equipment is from your own pocket. When you want to get into voiceovers, you need to get ready to buy your equipment. So the $500 is barely one mic. I mean, a mic like this, like for example, the Blue Spark. The Blue Spark is about $350. You can imagine. Now, the interface that I'm using, I can take it because it's stuck. That one alone is about $20. So that's already $500. So when you want to get into voiceovers, you need to make sure you have a capital. You need to make sure you have equipment. Or if you don't have a place to turn or to transform or to change into a studio, maybe a wardrobe, if you don't have an external room, then you should be willing to go and get access to at least a decent professional recording studio where you can go and then you can have an arrangement with the producer. So maybe you can give him a fee anytime you record projects. My role is to open the doors for you, is to show you the opportunities that exist in voiceovers. Like I said, I always say there are thousands of multimedia recording studios, production companies worldwide that want to work with anybody in the world, no matter where you're from. I say thousands. The least you can get paid decently is between $50 and $100 for 60-second recording. I repeat, 60-second script recording, you can get between $50 and $100 for you to read according to the requirement of a client. So that's what it is. There we go. So don't hesitate. Sign up in my masterclass. We do it on Zoom. Basically, I like to teach on Zoom because it has so many features. We can also do it in person. For those who are in Rwanda or in Kigali, we can do it in person. No, not only do you pay for my fee, which is $500, but you can also make sure you have a budget to create your own studio and to get your equipment. I have different options for low budget to high budget depending on what you have. Or if you don't have any money, but you guarantee that you have access to a decent studio, I would definitely tell you to go get me some samples, and then I can appreciate the sound quality of the studio. And definitely I would just give you all the different options where you can start working immediately. The training is not certified. I'm not a school. I'm not an academy. I'm sharing my personal experience. And what I teach is how you can make money with your voice straightforward, directly. So there's no certificate, graduation. There's no ministry application, jobs. If you have the skills, immediately people can take you up or they can take you on board. I'm Stevie Ndjala from Gemini Multimedia Ltd. Don't forget, make money with your voice. Internet is the new visa.